Hello everybody, my name is Muhammad Nur Haikal and welcome to my experiment. So today we are going to do an experiment about floating and non-floating object. But first, I recommend you guys to wear a lab coat so that our experience in doing experiment will be just fine and our safety will be ensured. So for the first one, I want to show you guys some objects that we will use to do our experiment today. So for the first one, we have balloon, and then we have a glass cup and a stone, and also we have a pencil, a straw, and a plastic ruler. So this experiment, we want to prove that some of these things are floating and some of them are not. So for the first one, we will use the balloon to show you guys if these things are float or not. So let's go. Okay, so we will put this balloon into the water. So you must prepare a small amount of water so that we could do our experiment good. Okay, so for the first one, yes, this shows that balloon are a floating object. So the second one, we will use a glass cup. Oh no! The glass cup is a non-floating object. So guys, before we continue our experiment, remember to use the cup wisely so that the cup will not be break, and of course our safety is a must in doing all of the experiment. So for the third one is a stone. So remember to pick a clean stone and wash it before you use the experiment so that the cleanliness will be ensured. So we will put the stone into the water. As you guys can see, the stone are non-floating object. Good. Okay, and we continue to the pencil. So put the pencil wisely and remember to wash it first. Okay, the pencil are floating object. Good. Okay, next we will use the straw, plastic straw. And remember, before you put the plastic straw into the water, please make sure that there is no teh ais or teh tarik in the straw, Okay, we will put into the water. And as you guys can see, it is a floating object. Okay, and the last object that we will use a ruler. Remember to not use the dangerous one because it could hurt your hand. So don't use the sharp ruler, use a safety ruler because this is just a good experiment for all the people in all the world. Okay, so we will put this ruler into the water. As you can see, the ruler is floating. Okay guys, so for the safety rules and safety issues, you must make sure that your place is always clean. And remember, after we do the experiment, remember to clean it first because it can contain bacteria, and of course we want to our experiment place will always be safe and always be clean. So that's all for me. Thank you very much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, so welcome to the discussion session. So in this session, we will discuss about what is scientific skills that join us in the experiment. So the first one is observing. This is the first scientific skills that join in our experiment because when we observe the object, we can see and we can determine is the object is floating or not. So the second one is classifying. We should the skill of classifying is done when we classify whether the object is floating or non-floating in the table. So next is predicting. So when we put the object on our hand, we could predict the object is this object is floating or not. So we could have a predicting skills when we hold the object in our own hand. So the next one is inferring, which is we make inference about the object, and when in example
when the object is floating, so we could know why is the object is floating or no. So the next one is actually communicating. This skills join when we share our data with other people. And the lastly is controlling variable, which is we control the variable like the manipulate variable and all other variable. So for the next one, which is precaution, what should we do before, when, and after the experiment? So for the first one, handle the glass cup carefully to avoid breakage and injury, because when the glass is break and the glass hit on our hand, so our hand could be bleed, and this is very dangerous. So the next one is do not throw objects, especially the stone, into the water to prevent splashing or accident. So for the next one is make sure the floor is dry to avoid slipping. This is because we want our safety is always be ensured, and we don't want any injuries to be happen. So we'll move to handling materials properly. So for the first one, do not spill or damage the balloon before testing, as it may affect the result. So for the second one, ensure the pencil and plastic ruler are dry before placing them into the water. And lastly, use clean water so that the dirt does not affect our observation. And for the next one, which is our hypothesis. If an object is light, then it will float. If an object is heavy, then it will sink. So the variable for the first one is manipulated variables. What we can change when we do the experiment, like balloon, glass, cup, pencil, and plastic ruler. So for the second one is responding variable. What we observe, whether the object float or sink. This is when we observe the object, is the object sink or not. Okay, so the next one is control variable. What we keep the same, like same amount of water and same container to make sure our data is always accurate. So for the last, we will see about the data, which is what we can see the balloon. The observation is the balloon floats on the water. So what is the inference? Why the balloon is floats on the water? Because the float is light and it filled with air. So for the second one, the glass cup sinks to the bottom because it is heavy. So that is because the cup sink into the water. So for the next one, which is the pencil floats on the water because it is light and it is made of wood. If the pencil made of iron, like heavy material, so it will sink into the water. So for the next one is plastic ruler. The plastic ruler floats on the water because it is light. And the last one is actually stone. The stone sinks to the bottom because it is heavy. So for the conclusion is when the material is heavy, it will sink into the water, but when the material is light, it will float into the water. So when we put the heavy things like iron, like our watch, iron watch, and some other things, it will sink into the water. So that's all from me. Thank you very much and see you in the next time.